lunch in the school, and like, yeah, it's one of those, yeah. And there's
What city is it?
it's in Annapolis. How you doing? It's all good. I was like, where's he going? Or he's taking a moment.
I didn't see your name.
There you go, yeah. You got it. All right. We are joined by Purdue University head coach Matt Painter, Trevion Williams, and Jaden Ivey. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach, then we'll take questions from the students, and then we'll go back to questions from our coach. Coach, you're up.
Yeah, kind of a unique game. Obviously, it was more of a defensive game in the first half. I thought we did a really good job of getting them out of rhythm and contesting their shots, making them shoot tough twos. And then obviously in the second half, it was more of an offensive game. And I thought we did a good job of just getting them out of rhythm. They made those 3 or 4 threes at the end of the game. It kind of inflates the stats a little bit and had our prevent defense going. And letting them kind of get some looks, and we should have just stayed home on the three-point shooters and lived with it. But I thought our guys, when they cut it to 1 right there, they really showed some grit and some character there to be able to make plays. Trevion made a couple really nice passes. Jaden got into the open court. Eric Hunter stepped up and made a couple huge threes in that stretch. And I thought that was the kind of the decisive run for us to help us push the lead back out and kind of keep it there and never let them get back to 2 possessions. But you know it's going to be a tough game against Michigan State. We out-rebounded them again, which is a great sign. We were able to get to the free throw line a lot, which we wanted to do. And that's hard to do against them. They make things very, very difficult. And then our guys kept our turnovers. Even though they turned the ball over 5 times less than we did, we still, that number at number 9, having turnovers at 9 for us is really good. So when they beat us on a buzzer shot, we turned the ball over 17 times during the year. So cutting it by 8, gave us 8 more cracks at it. So I thought that was good. And anytime we have more rebounds and fewer turnovers, we've had a lot of success through the years.
We'll take questions from the students. Raise your hand. We'll start with Brian on the left, and then we'll go to Mike.
For Trey, just they did not double in the game in East Lansing. How certain were you that they weren't going to do that again, and you had to be ready for that offensively? How much did that matter for you guys offensively today?
Man, it matters a lot. We throw the ball inside a lot, and as a big man, you have to be prepared. For what teams throw at you. Obviously teams know. I'm a pretty good passer, and I guess his philosophy was stay home on shooters and make them score one-on-one. And the first game we played them in East Lansing, I didn't take advantage of that opportunity as much as I wanted to. Maybe I was frustrated with the refs, whatever it was. I just wasn't engaged, I don't think. This game, I think I was more patient. I waited for things to come to me, and I just think the outcome was better. So,
Mike?
For Trevion and Jaden, just the combination of being in so many close games this season and these last 2 games when the team has got within 1, you found a different gear. Is that just all those experiences kind of coming out?
Jaden start and then Trevion.
I think it definitely is. We've been in a lot of situations where we end up winning close games and we end up losing close games. So I think it's just we put ourselves in a position to where we can win the game, and it just comes with our experience.
Trevion.
Man, just to kind of piggyback off that, we've, like you said, we've been in close games. We've lost some and we've won some. At some point, you got to figure it out. And we down the stretch, for us, obviously it came down to not turning the ball over, taking care of it. But those little things, boxing out, making free throws at the end of the game, whatever the case may be, just doing those little things to help us, get over that hump. So,
Front row, Tom on the right side.
Jaden, Tom Bruce, Sports Illustrated, Purdue. You guys always set goals at the start of each season, and you came up one short of the champion in the regular season. But how important is it tomorrow to win a championship and hoist a trophy and that, just for overall conference to have a success with something like that?
Tomorrow's a big game, for us. Obviously not winning the regular season championship. That was a goal of ours, and we fell short. And then now tomorrow, we have another opportunity win a championship and, take one home, to our fans. And, we just got to lock in tomorrow and, read the scout and, take Iowa, out of what they like to do and, just play, great team ball tomorrow.
We'll go back to Brian on the left-hand side, third row.
For both guys, what were the keys to keeping the turnovers down? Was it concentration, being simple, whatever? How would you kind of describe the most important parts of cutting that back?
Trevion.
Man, it just come down to, obviously concentration. Michigan State's a team that likes to pressure guys and get them out of their comfort zone. And they pressure you and they pressure you and they hold you, they grab you. And they do it to kind of rough teams up. We've struggled in the past with pressure, guys pressuring us. So it was just about being strong with the ball, knowing what's coming, expecting, those guys to be physical with us. So we went into this game, Coach harped on it as much as he could. He said, expect this, and man, we went in there and I thought we handled the pressure, pretty well. So
We'll take two more for the students. We'll start on the right-hand side.
Joel Lorenzi with the Indy Star. Trevion, it felt like you guys pulled away at the end there because of your connection with Eric Hunter and those few plays you guys made. I guess talk to me about your connection with him as well. It seemed like after the second three, you guys both did a little chef's kiss celebration. Are you guys really that connected? I guess just talk to me about that connection.
Man, I just, that's my brother, man. I wouldn't want to be on the court with anybody else. We practice a lot together, off the court, outside of practice. We do those little things aside from, when we're in practice. So, man, he's just, obviously, he's been through it with me, since my freshman year. We've been to an Elite Eight game. We've pretty much seen it all. We've been a part of losing teams. We've been a part of winning teams. So just to have somebody like that to go through it with you, it means the world. And, I know he wants to win just as bad as I do. So that's kind of where that connection comes from.
All right, we'll finish for you guys with Julian on the left-hand side.
Jaden, this one's for you, Jaden. When you came into the league, you weren't as highly regarded as other people were, and then you blew up. And looking ahead, there's another guy on the other side that had that same road that you did in Murray. What's it like? Can you describe for me what's it like to see on the other side a guy that had that similar road that you did, and blowing up in arguably the best conference in college basketball?
I'm sorry, I totally was confused by that question. Can you say it again?
That's about like Keegan Murray.
Murray?
No.
Keegan Murray. Oh, okay. Obviously, last year, people didn't, respect me as much. Me being a freshman, and it just shows what work can do. Keegan Murray is also, a great player, and I'm sure he put, a ton of work in the summer. So it's just, the work he put in the dark will always come to light, and it just, took, a year to, get used to it and get used to Big Ten play, and I think we're both, settled in and comfortable.
All right, you guys can head back to the locker room. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll continue with questions for Coach Painter. We'll start with Bob on the far right side, front row.
Hey, Matt. Bob Kravitz with The Athletic. Last year when you guys got eliminated early from the Big Ten Tournament, you didn't seem totally crestfallen because you got a chance to go back and rest. Does this team need a run like this? Is it a different circumstance in your mind?
Yeah, I think it is a different circumstance. We lost a couple heartbreakers on the road to Michigan State and to Wisconsin, and then we didn't play great against Indiana. We're very fortunate to win. I think they had a lot to do with that. And so, trying to get into, more of a rhythm, whether that's, building confidence through playing defense like we did in the first half, or, making shots or making more shots like we did in the second half. That was our Penn State game was a tough win for us. I mean, he did a lot of things to really put us in a bind, and they got off to such a good start. So we had to battle back to get that halftime lead. And then tonight, obviously, I thought we should have been in a better position at halftime. We didn't play very well the last 3 minutes of the first half, and the lead was 7. I thought that lead should have been in double figures easily. I know that's obviously from my perspective, but we hung in there. And in both games, you know, it got close and it got to a possession under 5 minutes, and our guys responded. I think you build confidence by responding and getting into tough situations. So I do think that this was good for us. And, you know, when you first start, anytime you lose in the Big Ten tournament, like, it can get you on edge and really help you. And then when you win, you always think it kind of softens you a little bit. But who wants to lose? You know, you're trying to win every game that you play. It can go any which way. You know, it just can. You know, the winning can really help you in the NCAA tournament. You know, getting a loss can give you some rest and get on edge. There's just a couple ways to look at it. You wish as a coach you knew exactly, because you really have to forecast your team and have a pulse on your team, but yet you have people on your team that haven't been through those experiences. So it's a real dicey situation as a coach, because, you know, everybody always wants to know, like, what concerns you. Everything concerns you. You know, you're just waiting, you know, for that collapse. And you just, you know, you want to keep building, you want to keep playing well, you want to keep being the aggressor, but then things happen when you go cold or you miss free throws, or, you know, just kind of those demoralizing things. Like, I thought in the first half we got open shots, and so you're in all those huddles saying, keep taking your shots, but yet we're missing them. You know, and our defense kind of held in there for us and played well. So, yeah, it is a very interesting, a good question. It's a very interesting thing that coaches will always go back and forth. I don't know if there's just one answer. I think you can have one answer for a particular team, but through the years you won't just have one answer.
Go all the way in the far back left corner.
Graham Couch, Lansing State Journal. Matt, Michigan State's got a young point guard, in A.J. Hogard, who played pretty well against you guys both times. And throughout, I mean, I'm sure you scouted him in other games and saw sort of the ups and downs. And I'm wondering what you see from him and what he gives them potentially moving forward.
Yeah, you know, he's a big point. He bullied us a couple times and got to the rim. He had that 1-and-1, I thought, kind of got him going right in front of their bench early in the second half. You can't let him get deep. And we just went through a plethora of that with Pickett from Penn State, the way he plays back down basketball and takes guards and puts them there. And so, you know, you got to use your arm bar when you can with him. You got to be able to use your chest and get there. And if you don't, he's just, from a physical standpoint, is going to back up. What a lot of people have gotten to, Graham, is the drop coverage and ball screen defense. You see it with Hunter Dickinson. You see it with Kofi. We've moved more to it, even though we don't do it all the time. But you're really just trying to stop those flip-up lobs that, you know, guys get, Bingham gets, Trace Jackson Davis gets. You know, you're just really trying to stop that and then stay at home with those three-point shooters. I know Coach Izzo's talked about it a lot, especially in their prep against us, is that, like, don't get so worried about those twos. Well, when a guy like that, as a point guard, is getting those baskets, and then he's getting 10 assists, no turnovers, that's a heck of a day. And so we were trying to keep him out of the paint. I think it kind of hurt us a little bit when Eric Hunter got that third foul, and now, you know, he wants to stay in the game, and, you know, rightfully so, because you saw the way he played down the stretch. But, you know, hats off to Hogard, and, you know, think about our loss. You know, Tyson Walker makes a huge shot and beats us, and now he gets hurt and gets out of the game. So I think you got to keep that in perspective for Michigan State. They didn't have one of their key guys.
On the right side towards the back.
Matt, I think Tom Izzo's words were Trevion Williams is the best passer in the state, even maybe including some pro players. I'm just curious your thoughts on that.
Yeah. No, he's a great passer. And, you know, those two passes that he made to Eric Hunter was a definite breakdown, because they're staying home with those shooters. If they're not coming and they stay one-on-one, they've been traditional with that, they're staying home with those shooters. And, you know, we go 1 for 9 from 3 at their place and lose on a buzzer beater. And so he really wanted to knock out our threes and make those guys score. But he also knows Zach Edey's so big and Trevion's big that they can get deep and cause you a lot of problems. But, you know, Trevion, we try to run a lot of stuff through him, whether it's in the low post or the high post. The thing that he gets into is that he loves it. He loves to pass, so he threads the needle a lot, and sometimes he'll force some things in there. But when he's got it going and he's got you figured out, kind of like a quarterback, you know, when they got you figured out, you're in trouble. You know, you gotta mix some things up on him a little bit. But if you're going to come and double him, he actually likes that. And he's the only big guy I've ever coached that actually likes being double teamed. Most big guys are mad because they want to shoot it every single time, but he doesn't. He wants to pass it, and that's our rules. When you're one-on-one, score, and when you're double, pass.
We'll take 2 more, Tom in the front row, and then we'll finish with Kevin.
I don't know. You mentioned Tom Bruce, Sports Illustrated Purdue. You mentioned that little lull end of the first half, and have you ever been able to figure out in the course of this season when you have lulls as to what causes that, or is it just different things at different times?
Yeah, when it's turnovers, now you're going to get those runouts, and you're going to get behind plays, and they're going to get layups. So those are the things you have to get corrected. That wasn't the case in this lull. This lull was missed shots. So as long as you're taking good shots, you're going to have a better chance to set your defense when you take a good shot and miss it versus taking a crazy shot, something that's unexpected, or obviously turn the basketball over. It doesn't mean you eliminate it, but the percentages will show. As long as you keep taking good shots, you should be able to set your defense and know what's going on. So the lulls for us are the turnovers or the bad shots. When we eliminate those or really diminish them, that's when we have success, because I think we're second in the country in field goal percentage, but yet we're still a good offensive rebounding team. So as long as we can keep having shots, like tonight we have lulls, but we have 15 offensive rebounds. So you only have 9 turnovers. So you live with it and you push through it and you're still able to score 75.
All right, we'll finish with Kevin in the middle right side.
Yeah, Kevin Brockway, CNH. I coach Iowa 43s in their first 3 games. They kind of burned Indiana late in that game with a bunch of threes. This is how the aspect of that, how important of that, and how you feel, how equipped you guys are in terms of guarding the three-point line tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I think you have to keep in perspective for us. We beat Iowa twice. Keegan Murray didn't play in the first game, and Keegan Murray got in foul trouble the second game. So keep that in perspective. They will go smaller and really put you in binds. And that's going to happen in this game. I don't know how much it'll happen, but it's definitely going to happen. But they spread you out. They have quickness. They have good size. They can play bigger. They can play smaller. They can score 112 points. Was it 112 the first game? Yep. That's a lot of points. So I don't know if you guys have ever coached. It's a lot of points. But they're dangerous. Keegan Murray is a fantastic player. Chris Murray is really good. Patrick McCaffrey had a good game today. I didn't watch a lot of it. I just was glancing at it while I was watching on the board. But they're good. Fran's done an excellent job. They really put you in binds with their motion offense and the way they spread you out. Bohannon can, get 10 threes like he did against Maryland. Obviously made a big-time shot tonight. Did he call bank? Did you guys interviewed him? Did he call that? Because that would be great if he called bank. But he's done, like, when you look at guys and you look at that play and he banks it in and it's luck. But like, how many times have we seen Jordan Bohannon make plays like that? Like, he makes plays like that. He's a terrific shooter, one of the best shooters ever in the Big Ten. So there's a lot of guys. I could go up and down their lineup. I think some guys like Tony Perkins gets lost a little bit. But he brings a lot of value to the team. He's tough. He's hard-nosed. He drives the ball. Toussaint's got an edge to him, and he plays hard. So Aaron Eulis has got really good quickness. So they can mix it up. They can put a lot of athleticism out there. They can put a lot of skill out there. They can be big. They can be small. And so I like the way he just kind of messes with things until he finds that right niche. Now, when they come out and they get hot right away, he'll roll with those guys more. And that's when you see a complete team. You'll see Patrick staying there a little bit more, Chris Murray staying there a little bit more, just depending on who's rolling. Sometimes Toussaint plays more. They got a good team, and they got depth. They're going to give a lot of people trouble after they give us trouble tomorrow in the NCAA tournament.
All right, Coach, congratulations.
All right,
we'll
thank
see you
you
tomorrow.
Tell him I said hello.